Now we're going to hear from the head coach, Mark Johnson, our next coach to join us. Good to have you with us here tonight. How have you been handling, you and your team, all the stuff that's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is new territory. I think everybody's just doing the best they can and staying positive. And we're still hopeful that everything for us will be close to starting on time and we can get going. I know our guys are ready for that to be ready to start working for a future goal of getting to play.
But you didn't, I mean, you got your season in, but you were really affected, obviously, the spring. You do a lot of individual work, and with things shut down, it's hard for your players to get into a gym just to get shots up and some of the things they normally do in the spring.
Yeah, definitely different in the spring and things like that. He's just had a hard time getting anywhere. And players want to work out. That's what they want to do, and I know it's hard on them. Not only does it, I think it affected them a little bit physically, but mentally too, that they want to be out there and work at their game and keep trying to get better for the following year. So, I think as we're getting started here, I think we need as coaches to keep that in mind and understand they're probably not at the same level they normally would coming back this time of year because they didn't have spring and a lot of the summer to continue to work out as years pass. So I think we're going to try to start slow and ease into things and make sure everybody's, physically ready to handle, those days that we bring at them.
And we've heard some of the other coaches talk about the mental side and getting their student athletes back on campus and getting to do some of the stuff. I'd imagine that has been a big lift for all your players.
Yeah, you never know with each group. It could be a combination of things, just a group. But I've even noticed since they've been here a short time, I feel like this group has already hung together and already forming a little bit of a bond there, probably quicker than a lot of the other teams we've had. And I don't know if that's just because it's been away so long that they are, like I said, kind of yearning for that. So they're excited to go. And like I said, hopefully we get that opportunity.
Talk about this team a little bit because you had some guys graduate, you have a core coming back, and then you brought in some players. And before we go there, just talk about recruiting because men's basketball in the Division II level, you do a lot in the spring and get a lot of your team. That obviously had to be a gigantic challenge this year.
Yeah, we were really lucky. We signed a lot of guys early, and then the guys we signed in the spring signed before this all kind of happened. So we really only signed one guy since kind of the pandemic hit. So we were fortunate to have that. This will be the youngest team we've ever had. I think out of our 14 players, 6 are freshmen and 3 are sophomores. So I mean, this will be a young team. We do have a good group coming back. Obviously, Jared Vidstam had a great junior year, and I anticipate him having the same kind of year or better this coming year. Nige Wright is last year was his first year as a starter, so he'll be back. I think those 2 guys are 2 guys that have started a lot of games for us. And then other guys that played, I think Gilbert Peters will take a stronger role this year. He got some experience last year. Alvin Thompson, I think, is someone that first year coming in as a transfer was, it takes those guys a little bit of time. I think he'll make a big impact on our team. So we have those 4 guys right there that have played, and then we got a lot of new guys, and excited for them. And like I said, our freshman class, I think, will there be that individual that becomes a Brady Worth, a Hadley, Jared, Craig Nicholson? I think there will be, but I think unquestioned, even right now, it's the best group we've had as a whole. The number of quality freshmen we've brought in is the best going on my 20th year here. I don't even think it's close. It's the best freshman group we've had in 20 years. So we're excited for the future of them.
Well, it kind of leads. We had a question, and I don't know if Jason Ball sent this in, but he's wanting to know who the best athlete you've ever coached. I don't know if Jason sent that in. That's what it says on my list. So and they may be throwing you out in the bus.
Did he give multiple choice answers and he was one of them, or
it did not?
Okay. I would say the best athletes all played at the same time, really. I mean, if you really broke it down, I would say the 2 guys that probably stand out the most to me would be Jeremy Atwater and Derek Turner. They were on the same team. As far as high flying, jumping, doing all that, I think if you look at sheer speed and quickness and all that, probably Craig Nicholson would be up there. As far as when you're talking about sheer athleticism and things like that.
Well, there's been a lot of them, and I'm going to be excited to see who comes out of this current group.
Jason will be up there and shooting.
Well,
sure.
Now, I'm not even going to touch any of this so we don't get in trouble. Co-coach of the day is another one. We've got a couple of the sports. You have a chance to be a co-coach of the day. Men's basketball does that. Maybe tell us about what that all entails for the high bidder and the co-coach of the day.
Co-coach of the day. Last year we did the KU game. I think we're possibly trying to do the K-State game this year. I don't know if it's been finalized, but we'll see. So if you do that, it's a little different experience and all that. But if for a home game, I mean, you can be involved with the shoot around early in the morning. We do have about an hour practice on game day in the morning, and then you go to pregame meal, and then you're in there with all the locker room things that go on, obviously pregame, halftime, and all that. So, hopefully it's a good experience. We appreciate everybody that's willing to donate for that and be a part of that.
TigerAuction.org. You want to vote on that? It'll be a lot of fun. Kind of get an inside look at Fort Hays State University during a game scenario. One guy you didn't have on your list, and I know he's on that list. We're going to hear from him in a little bit. Catch up with great Dominique Jones. He was obviously a thrilling athlete and has had a tremendous career since Fort Hays State.
Yeah. If you talk, like I said, we're talking about athleticism. I don't know if Dom's on that top of that list, but you talk about he's by far one of the best players we had here in coach, and an entertaining player besides just winning games for him, how good he was. I think he was an entertaining player to watch, and he's gone on to do some really good things since he's left here. And great player, great person, and proud he's been part of our program.
Mark, we appreciate your time here tonight. Hopefully get to see some Tiger basketball here real soon.
All right, thanks, Trey.
There you go. That's Mark Johnson, head men's coach at Fort Hays State University. Now we're going to